What is going on, my friends? So today we're taking a Harley Davidson Street Glide seat and we're going to customize it with some Louis Vuitton print. Our customer actually provided us with this really crazy pattern and he says, hey, I want the seat full Louis Vuitton. I want the tour pack full Louis Vuitton. I want my helmet full Louis Vuitton. He said, I want my gloves Louis Vuitton. And we said, we don't do gloves. Let's get going. Let's see if our team could make this seat look really cool. Please follow our, well, not just follow, like, share, subscribe, follow us on all social media. Check out this video. I think you're gonna like what you see. It's gonna be pretty wild.
Our next step in the Louis Vuitton seat is we need to mark out for our templates. We need to mark where all of the pieces are going to fit up together. So what we're doing is we use these hash marks to line everything up afterwards. And we're going to cut all these out, and then later on we're going to show you how we piece all this together. We finished drawing our hash marks and marking everything what we need to be able to take this seat apart. Now, since it's going to be, the pattern is going to be an exact replica of what is already there, we are able to pull all the seams apart and trace out our material using the actual parts of the seat. We rip these apart pretty easily. These come apart. Simple razor blade is going to take these apart. Cut the seams. Seam ripper could work as well, but we found this is just a lot more efficient to just cut these with a razor blade.
So we have the seat done and the rear passenger backrest, well, rear passenger, only passenger backrest done. And I have to do the rider's backrest right now, which is this here. And then we're gonna do the helmet right here. And helmets usually are kind of a pain. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up putting one stitch around here. And usually when we're working with patterns, it's tricky because you have to try to line it up. Because this seat has so many different, everything on here has so many different contours and shapes, we're actually just gonna try to make the pattern flow left to right the best we can. And then as the panels curve around, because you have all these different curves and parts that go together, as those curve around, they're not gonna match up. There's no way to match anything up. So what we end up doing is we snap a straight line down the center of the seat, and then we kind of try to keep the pattern flowing from the front to back with all the top panels. And it was challenging, it's very challenging. So now we're just gonna wrap this up and see what's going on. For all you upholsterers that are looking for this fabric, our customer actually provided this to us. This specific pattern, we had a really hard time trying to locate. This material here, it has kind of like a strange backing. You see here, it's kind of like almost like a furry backing. And then it has almost, it's like a tablecloth material. It's a very, very thin, if you could see that, very thin material. So the one thing I've noticed with this material is it doesn't really stretch well. And let me see how easy. Yeah, see, it rips pretty easy. So you gotta be really careful. When you heat it up, it does stretch all right. But if you use this material, be very, very careful, because obviously, if you take a piece of material and you just rip it, like, that's not good. So I don't know how long this is gonna hold up for. And one thing that's weird is our space pens did not work on them. And I usually like to use those because you get a finer, crisper line and better detail. So we had to use chalk on it. Cutting out the last piece, we're gonna sew it up and put the backrest, rider's backrest together and move to the helmet. For this seat, we decided to use a black thread. It's actually kind of a strange color. We thought it was gray, but inside it really has a purple hue to it, or like a lavender hue to it. And when we put silvers and grays, it didn't really look right. And then when we put purples, it really made it too purpley looking. We feel the black is the best bet to go on top of this, and that's what we're doing. Have the cover made, but the way this seat backrest is, shaft goes through the center here, and we have to pull all this material around this. So I'm gonna go downstairs and heat it really good as we do this, just because I know that the material has a really high tendency to rip now. So we're gonna be careful when we put this together. So we went ahead and patterned the helmet, and the tape did not work on this. There's just too much curvature going on. So we end up having to use the material itself and glue it on there and kind of stretch it around there. Now that it's made, we are gonna go glue it on here and finish the helmet up. Okay, so we just finished up the helmet. That was the last piece of the puzzle. And I hope he really likes his Louis Vuitton seats, backrest, and helmet. Hopefully he'll send us some pictures of it on the bike so you guys can see what it looks like. Please remember, like, share, follow, subscribe to our channel, tell a friend, tell 2 friends.